Hey guys, Jay here, and I'm doing a how-to on IHC compression. So first what you will need is Allen keys, and you will need if you want, you can have like paper towel to clean your headset if there's dust in there, or your compression. And that's basically it. But the first step you want to do is you want to take off your bars. So I'll be back in a second to show you how to take off your bars. So now what you want to do is take off your bars. And as you see, I already have my clamp loosened. So that's the main step, but I have a district clamp, so you'll need a 5mm Allen key. That's mostly for every clamps. So what you want to do, sometimes bars are hard to get off, so you can either just pull up on them, or if it's hard, you can hit it with your foot and twist it. And then they come off. Okay, so I'll see you in a second for the next step. The next step is to loosen the bolt. As you see, I already have mine loosened. And you want to take it out with a 5mm Allen key. And then you can take your shim off. And then you have your fork. I have a spacer because the fork is smaller. The blunt declare fork is smaller than a usual fork. So you might have to use a spacer with these forks. And you may need a towel because this part is, because there's a lot of grease on the fork. So then you would take the fork and pull it down. And then my deck is integrated. I have the Phoenix Remington. So I have bearings, integrated bearings. And I'll show you the next step. These are the 5 things you've taken out already. The fork and the bearing, mine is integrated. The headset top cap, the spacer if you need one, the bolt that is in the top of your shim, and the shim. The next step is to, if you want, while it's out, you can clean your bearings, or if you have headset cups, you can clean them. I just use a paper towel just to wipe them off. It will be a little bit greasy, so you may need to wash your hands after. And if you want, you can put some more grease on there, hard grease, but it's okay without grease. And this is what the integrated bearing looks like when it's done. So then you can do your top one. Just take it out, and the crown race will be on the top, right here. And you can slide this over your fork, the bottom, and you can clean this one off with a towel or a tissue.
more.
And then this is what the top bearing looks like when it's all cleaned. The next step is to put all your parts back into your deck. So the first thing you want to do is put your top bearing in, and then your crown race. Make sure it's in there nice and snug and flush. And if it is a little bit loose in there, that will all compress when you put your compression in. So, and then you should take your fork with the integrated bearing and put it up through your deck. And then if the compression ring or the crown race comes off, you can just slide that back on. And the compression ring keeps everything down so nothing falls out. And the compression ring will have a slit in the back. So from there, I will slide my spacer over the top of my fork, and then I will slide my shim over the top, and then my dust cap or headset top cap. And then you have it almost finished. Make sure the top cap is nice and flush with the deck. And then you take your bolt for your compression and you slide it in. You can tighten it with your fingers at first, but then you will need your 5mm Allen key. And you don't want it too tight, but you want it tight enough so your bars don't come off or it doesn't get too loose. Then you can just tighten it. And just make sure it spins smoothly and no wobble. And if you try to spin it, it will not spin as fast without your bars on because there's more pressure when your bars are on. So if it can spin halfway when you spin it, it's good. So then you can slide your bars back on, and that will be the next step. So for this step, you will need to slide your bars over your forks. Make sure they're straight with your front wheel. And then you can straighten your clamp if you need to. Then you can tighten your bolts in your clamp. And just do it slowly. Just don't tighten one all the way. Just tighten one like this. Just tighten it slowly, then move back to the that one, because you might strip your bolts, and then that's not good. So, and then you can move to the next one. And then that's how to on IHC Compression. And thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe.